Okay, hey, can you hear me there? Turn that up a little bit there. Okay. Oh, this is week 11. Week 11, and I think I'm going to try to cover 2 chapters today, and I'm going to work with book 3 today. But first of all, before I go into that, let me take a look here. We got something here. This is from an article I was just reading here. It says neuroscience. This is study of the brain, right? They study the synapses, the electronic signals in the brain, right? And I talk a little bit about this kind of thing in my philosophy class. I'm not a big believer in neuroscience, but let's just take this for what it is. Okay, so neuroscience says that doing this one thing makes you just as happy as eating 2,000 chocolate bars. Okay? And look at this. Let me move out of here. Doing this thing, doing it, also gives you the same neurological boost. Now, neurological boost can be, hormones get secreted, serotonin, melatonin. These are hormones, right? Serotonin. I forget there's a few more hormones that makes you feel pleasurable, makes you feel happier. Okay, so doing this thing gives you the same neurological boost. It elevates. It gives you more pleasure as receiving. It's the same amount of pleasure as receiving $25,000. So what could this possibly be? Something that's just the equivalent of eating 2,000 chocolate bars, or getting $25,000 handed to you. What do you think that thing is? What do you think this thing is? This one thing. And the answer is, as we talked about, is let me see if I can find it. There it is. A smile. Right. A smile. A smile, as it turns out, has remarkable effects. Right? It makes you feel good even if you're not feeling good. What I'm saying here is the muscles, right? The muscles, when you make a fake smile, right? Fake it till you make it, right? Even a fake smile will secrete hormones. There's lots of muscles in here. And when you smile, it triggers the hormones to go to your brain, and it makes you feel better, right? Like I said, even a fake one. I think I mentioned before to you guys when I was having trouble a couple years back at Sejong, some changes were going through, and every day I had a headache. I couldn't get rid of it, man. It was just stress. And I would go jogging in the park and I would have a fake smile on, right? So I do think it works, right? And it makes you live longer, right? Longevity. Let's see. How well? Let's look at this. Okay, so this also improves your test taking, right? I think I mentioned too, students who smile are more likely to get an A+ or an A in a class, right? I mean, it just makes sense, right? I mean, you're sitting in the classroom, you're sitting in the front or somewhere near the front, and you're looking at the teacher, and you have a nice look on your face, right? The teacher's going to respond differently, right, than he is with some student in the back who either doesn't pay attention at all or has a frown, kind of like this. I see it all the time, right? It just amazes me how, it's one simple little thing. Just if you go to class, smile, be friendly, and your chances of getting an A just escalates, right? Nobody wants to give a nice person a bad grade. But I can tell you something. Somebody sits in the back that doesn't pay attention, has missed a lot of classes, never smiles. I don't want this person necessarily to pass, right? It's just human nature, right? You're also more likely to get a promotion at work, right? That's another thing too, right? You're going to do better on your tests. It's just you have a more positive mindset. So next time you go to a party, meet new people, as I mentioned in the first class, or second, maybe it was the second class, how to get people to like you. That video, I think it was the second video. I think this is a very good idea to smile. You just can't lose, right? It gets you better marriage in the end. Let's see, didn't remember that. Okay. We look better to others. We perceive ourselves to be more likable, right? Okay, so there you go. And you'll do better on your test. Okay, let's go back to the book here. This is book 3. How much time did I? Was 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do chapter 1, maybe chapter 2. This is Touchstone, book 3. I think I uploaded 2 books for you guys. This is book 3. This is just the beginning, so it's not too hard. And I'll go through some techniques you can use when you are talking to people. All right, now take a look. This is a conversation strategy. This is what we always focus on here, describing individual habits. Now, the quality of this is not so great, is it? But you have your book with you. You could maybe you can put it side by side. I don't know. Take a look at these 2 sentences. Who is describing a habit? Kate or Jenny? My brother is always borrowing my car, and it's so annoying. Okay. Sometimes my brother borrows my car, but that's okay. Obviously, Kate is talking about a habit. He's always borrowing. He's always borrowing. That's how we describe individual habits. We use 현재 진행, right? Usually for repeated actions, right? We use 현재, right? I like you. I ride my bike. I go to the store every day. These are 현재s for repeated actions. But here, we're using 현재 진행, right? A present continuous, right? He's always borrowing my car. That's a habit. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. This is ways of describing things that we do, right, to other people. Like, I'm always doing this, right? That's how somebody, let's just see how this works out in this conversation. I have a bit of an audio file, but let's just try to do it without it, right? So, how's your new roommate working out? There they are, they're talking. Alexis says, that's her. She's Alexis, right? How's your new roommate working out? Well, Jacob says, there he is. Jacob says, well, I don't see that much of him. Really? I mean, did we cover this before? It's a way of saying the same thing again, right? In other words, I mean, he's always working. I don't see that much of him, really. I mean, he's always working, right? Okay, at the library or sitting at the computer. We've talked about before, right? Is just a signal of reaffirming that you're paying attention. I thought somebody was here. I heard a door slam. I think it's just the wind. Maybe. Or it's a ghost, right? Okay, so, I mean, he's always working, at the library or sitting at the computer. Yeah, so it's a new roommate. How would you like to have a roommate like that, right? Doesn't seem to be very social, right? So it's kind of a complaint, right? He's always doing something, right? You want a roommate who's kind of cool and laid back and talks a little bit, right? Well, at least he's not always throwing wild parties. Of course, that's the other extreme, right? Or playing loud music all night, right? Playing music all night. Okay, so dear Jacob is complaining about his roommate. He's always busy. He's always working. He's always on the computer. In other words, Jacob seems to want somebody that's going to talk, right? Like anybody would want. Well, at least he's not always throwing wild parties. She's trying to show the bright side. of this situation, right? He's not always throwing wild parties or playing music, okay? So she turns it around. Look at the bright side. Yeah, and he's pretty easygoing, okay? He's not a weirdo. He's not stressful. He's laid back a little bit, right? I'm always borrowing his stuff, and he doesn't mind. That's, once again, that's a habit, right? He's always working at the computer or in the library, and I'm always borrowing his stuff, and he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. It's okay. Wow, he sounds better than my old roommate. She was so unpleasant. You're right, Jacob says. She was pretty bad, right? Yeah, she was always talking about people behind their backs. You ever have a friend like that, right? And then Jacob says, do you mean like we're doing right now? It's kind of a joke, right? Kind of a joke, right? Like, because they're gossiping about other people, right? Okay, so let's take a look back here. Let's go to the next page here, page 7. You can use at least, right? You can use the expression at least to point out the positive side in a situation, right? Let's take a look right here. Let's add at least to this conversation, right? My girlfriend is always late for our dates, so she's always apologizing to me. It drives me crazy. My girlfriend is always late for our dates, so she's always apologizing to me. It drives me crazy. That's her habit, right? She's always late, and she's always apologizing. Yeah, but at least she apologizes, right? My girlfriend never says she's sorry when she's late. Yeah, there's really two kinds of people in the world, aren't there? People that say they're sorry too much, and the people that never say they're sorry. I say I'm sorry too much. My wife never says I'm sorry. Actually, she's, over the last 15 years since I met her, she's improved in that. Now she says she's sorry. I think, yeah. And I say I'm sorry less, because that's also annoying, right? Okay, so I jumped around here. Okay, so my girlfriend's always late for our dates, so she's always apologizing to me, right? And it drives me crazy, yeah? Well, at least she apologizes. My girlfriend never says she's sorry when she's late. I know. And my girlfriend calls to say she'll be late. I know. I think right here we would have another at least, right? I know. And at least my girlfriend calls to say she'll be late, right? That's where you would want to put that in there. Okay? Here's another one here. Where are we going to put at least? My friend is always borrowing my CD. Okay, this is a little bit old, right? Nobody has CDs anymore. But imagine, jump back in time 20 years. 20 years. Okay? My friend is always borrowing my CDs and then giving them back weeks later, right? Well, at least he returns them to you. Yeah, and at least he never damages any of them, right? Okay, so we're describing habits, and often habits are annoying, and here we're showing there's a positive side to even bad habits, right? My brother's always getting good grades. Jeez, he's always getting good grades. You know somebody like that always gets good. Nobody, that is annoying too, right? It's a kind of a perfect person, right? It's impossible to keep up with him. Yeah. Where would at least go? Yeah, but at least you're doing your best, right? That's true. And at least I enjoy my classes, right? Okay, so it goes there too. All right, so I think this is all pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm pretty disorganized. Let's go back up to page 6 here. I'm pretty disorganized. Quite disorganized, right? I'm always losing things, right? I think I'm gonna on the for the right for the what I'm gonna upload this on Facebook, and then you guys can. I'm gonna put some situations like this, in which you have to write something like this. I'm always losing things. Everyone in my family loves music. What would it be here? What's the habit? What's the repeated action? What's the habit? We are always, can you use, we are always singing together, right? This is 현재 진행, right? Present continuous. My brother's really generous with his time. How would we say this here? He's always fixing my computer. I think this is back, 20 years ago. Computers had a Windows XP or something like that. You're fooling around with those damn things all the time, right? It wasn't until like Windows 8, Windows 7, I can't remember. Maybe it was Windows 7 or something, that you didn't have to worry about your computer crashing all the time. It's just a few years ago, right? My father, and then Windows 10, really, you don't have to think about it anymore, right? My father is a workaholic. Okay, we got two of them here. How do we say this? My father's a workaholic. He's always working. Can't stop working. He's always coming home late. He's always coming home late. He is always coming home late. And he's always bringing work home with him too. Okay. My college roommate was really funny. She was always making us laugh. She was always telling jokes. Okay, so you guys can do this in the comments in the Facebook. Right? A friend of mine complains here's one at the beginning here. A friend of mine is always complaining that she's broke. Right? But she's always buying herself expensive clothes. Right? One of my friends is totally unreliable. He's always canceling plans at the last minute. Okay? So just use 현재 진행 there, present continuous, to describe habits, people's habits. This is how we talk about people. When you just meet people and you want to talk about someone, gossiping, that's what you do. Okay, let's go to experiences here. Cover two things here rather than just one. Make it more interesting, I hope. Starting to get a feeling you guys are probably getting bored watching these things. All right, this is the general, in chapter 2 here, the general grammar is present perfect statements. 현재 진행, not 현재 진행, 현재 완료, sorry. I tell you, I rode my bike yesterday. I'm really rode fast and hard, and my brain's still not quite working. Okay, let's take a look at here. Once again, when you meet new people, we always try to keep the conversation going, right? So when somebody says, ask you something like this, and you're going to say no. I think I've mentioned this in passing, but we never really covered it, and I didn't want to spend a whole class on this, so I'll just spend 5 minutes, and then I don't know, maybe I'll have one or two of these for you to comment on in the Facebook page. Okay, so how can you show interest? Hey, have you seen the new Nicole Kidman movie? Okay, so if you go to a party and somebody says to you, have you seen the new Nicole Kidman movie? Or if somebody says, do you like K-pop? Right? Do you like, I don't know who these K-pop bands are, BTS? Right? What are you going to say if you don't, right, like them, or if you haven't seen it? Remember, your goal here is to keep the fire burning, keep the conversation going. So you don't want to say, no. Do you like BTS? No. Look at my face. No. Right? Have you seen the new Nicole Kidman movie? No. Is that keeping the fire going in the conversation, right? No, it isn't. So you don't want to say, no, I haven't. And you don't want to say, no, I don't like comedies, right? Hey, did you see that BTS event on TV yesterday? No, I don't like K-pop, right? So you're killing the conversation, right? We want to keep it going, so the best thing to say here is no, but I've heard about it. Have you seen it? Okay. No, but I saw advertisements for it. Did you watch it? The goal here is to keep the conversation. It's not to express your strong opinions about things. What good is that, right? It's okay to have those opinions, but what good is it when you first meet somebody to express a negative opinion, right? All you do is just end the conversation, unless you want to end the conversation. It's possible. Okay, so let's keep going here. You only got like 4 minutes left. So just let's look at the way they keep the conversation rolling. Have you seen any good movies lately? Well, I just saw that new Jim Carrey movie. Have you seen it? No, but I've heard it's good. Did you like it? So once again, Deborah's keeping the conversation going, right? She says no, and no is a conversation killer, but she keeps it going. No, but. That's really important, right? When you get married, talk to your wife or your husband, for 20 years, then you can say what you really think. But when you first meet people, try to keep it going, right? Even this, with my wife too, right? You got to keep a positive energy, right? About if she talks about something you don't really like or don't know much about, if she's interested in it, get her talking more about it, right? I don't want to just cut off the conversation, right? That creates a negative energy, right? No, but I heard it's good. Did you like it? Yeah, it was really incredibly funny. Do you like comedies? Yeah, I have to go see it. I love Jim Carrey. Do you? Are you a Will Smith fan? Okay, we'll come back to this in a second. I think, do you? You can show interest with short questions like, do you? Have you? Right? Okay, so no, but, right? And then do you? That's another thing we're learning today. Okay, so yes, it was pretty funny. Do you like comedies? Yeah, I have to go see it. Do you? Are you a Will Smith fan? I've heard of him. In other words, no, I don't know him, right? But you don't want to say that. You don't want to even say the word no. No, I have heard of him. Is he any good? Yeah, I've seen most of his movies. Have you? Oh, look, here's a Will Smith film. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Do you want to go? Yeah, I'm kind of mood for a comedy. Okay, so once again, no but, right? And if you want to keep the conversation going, I think we mentioned this before. Do you? Really? Wow. Interesting. Cool. Keep interrupting is okay, right? All right, let's take a look here. My favorite movie is Spirited Away. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it? I don't even know what the answer is here. Let's see. I've heard of it. Let me see. Oh yeah, I've heard of it. What's it about? Have you ever seen it? I've heard of it. What's it about? Have you ever eaten a durian? Do you guys know what a durian is? It's Indonesian fruit. Kind of stinks, actually. I don't mind it, but some hotels won't even let you take this fruit in there. Have you ever eaten a durian? It's a fruit, right? In other words, no, right? But he doesn't want to just say no. It's a fruit, right? I've never tried it. What does it taste like, right? That's quite a conversation starter right there, durian, because it really, really stinks. It smells like bad BO. And like I said, either you love it or you hate it. Okay. 3. Do you know that new band called Sunset? They're really great. No, but, right? No, but. I've heard good things about them. Do you have any of their CDs? Do you, have you, what are some of their songs, right? Like this, right? At least keep the conversation rolling, right? Okay, we're almost done here. One of my favorite restaurants is Silk Road. Have you ever eaten there? Looks like somebody's been to Thailand here. Okay, so one of my favorite restaurants is Silk Road. Have you ever eaten there? Yeah. No, but I've walked by it. No, but I've walked by it. What kind of food do they serve? Okay, so no, but, right? And then a question. Okay? No, but, then a question. No, but, then a question. Always roll it back to the person. Obviously, they want to talk about these things here, right? You don't know anything about it. Get them talking and smile. All right, so that's enough for today. I'll have some things for you to comment on. We'll keep it short today as usual. Talk to you later. Bye.